But so, all right, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming out for FNL's opening bell. OODA Loop of our charts. We're going to go through the charts and find a plan for the day. Again, like we say every morning, our goal here is not to predict where we think the price is going to go, but to have a plan for when it goes there. Trading futures contains risk. Only risk capital should be used. So please, just risk capital. And that goes
and you could die.
And you can die. And that goes for, thank you, Lori. And that goes for any type of financial instruments too, not just futures, but stocks and options and crypto and all that good stuff. So risk capital only, folks. The other thing we'll be doing this morning is doing our FNL OB30 trade, which has been going very well over the last few weeks. We've had a few chop days, but for the most part, we've stayed out of chop. And then when we have chopped, we've said, hey, this isn't our trade. This isn't the day today. We need to take a step back, let the OB range do what it's going to do, and then go ahead and start looking for our standard trades. So how are we doing this morning, Travis?
Pretty well. How are you?
Good. Doing good. Doing good. Just looking forward to a good trading day today, hopefully. We'll see what the day brings us. So why don't we start with our 5-minute chart and take a look at that, do a quick little review.
First thing that stands out to me is this big white and blue area up top. I know this is the top of the gap as well as the top of a daily level that was there before the gap, right? So a couple different reasons I really like. We talked yesterday at 3,900 level. And overnight we pushed down. We used it as support 3 different times yesterday. At the close of the day, we couldn't get under it. And then we did get under, but since then it pushed back above it. You could see a lot of commotion around that area. Now we're above it. So 3,900 to me is the first level I look at on the bottom side as a target, especially if I'm going short. I want to at least scale out, if not fill entirely before that level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the spot last night that I thought, okay, here we go. Right. We're going down. We broke it. We came down. We came back up.
These.
Yep. A couple different times I thought, wow, this would be a pretty good spot here. We're using this as resistance now. We broke through it. We retested. This is really my trade, right? Where we break a level of support. What was support now becomes resistance. Looked like pretty good spots, but no, it ended up being support. So I backed out of it and gave up. So it happens.
What I like to see is like the first close did under that level. Once you get towards like that 1 o'clock area, see how we're starting to close above the level there. That's when it really scares me. I know it's easier to say in hindsight, but
that's when I gave up.
Yeah,
that's when it got above. So the first trade I took was here. Second trade I took was, I believe, here. And then once we started closing above it, I said, nah, I'm done.
Right. And it sounds simple, but to anybody out there who's looking at levels, it does matter what side of the level you close on. Just pay attention to it. Watch how it wicks off the level after it closes on one side or the other, basically confirming it wants to hold the level or confirming that it's breaking it. Right. Very interesting how that happens.
Yep.
So then I look back a little bit, looking for a trend. I see that we were up. Remember, a lot of the week we were up for a few days. We used the same level as support. So when you look back, you see that same level being interacted with all the way back a few days.
And for folks that maybe don't have that level, what's that level from?
We're about to go to it on the daily. So quick look, there's our 5-minute. Big peak, came back down. We're using support on the bottom. So just remember this white line and the blue at 3,900. And we'll go to the daily. So the daily now, we can zoom in. We know there was a big down move. But you can see now the white box and the 3,900 line up perfectly. And the reason I say perfectly is because we had a bodies to wicks area back here. So I used the bodies to show me kind of where the market got comfortable, the wicks to show me the tolerance on the other side. I use this area where we had a double tap as the bottom of the box because I really like that. So
it's a gap.
Exactly. And then you look
over
box
to the gap.
Look over to the right. The white box is the gap. Exactly. The white box is a daily gap. A blue box is an old support level. The top of both of those are at 3,900. So really big key level there.
Yeah, I would say on this daily chart, boy, it looks like if this wants to push up, we could have a nice run up. There's not a lot really to our left. I would say that, getting by the wick on the candle on our left is probably our first spot to get by. And you do have a little line of support there at 39.41 or 2, somewhere in that area. But then look at all this this candle, this huge red candle, we could actually recapture. So we have a few levels to get by maybe on the way up, but 4,000, over, would not be out of the question, in my opinion, if we can get some momentum today going up. If this decides to close lower today, so what do we got? This candle is not a huge candle going. So if we do decide to get below and it starts turning red, and we can get into this gap and start heading down, there's not a lot on the way down either to stop us. So I think, in my opinion, right now we are at a critical spot for this price to either go up or down. It's in a perfect spot for it to pull back, isn't it? On the bigger move, we're at a 50% right now. So it's at a real critical spot, in my opinion.
Yeah, but one thing, similarly to yesterday, us closing and reacting so strongly with the top of this level and then looking back and seeing basically nothing but support under us tells me there's a very good chance that as long as we can hold above this level, we're pushing up. So I agree with you there. My initial bias is long because yesterday tried to push down, couldn't get into that area. Today overnight did the same thing, pushed a little deeper, but still didn't even cross the gap, let alone the whole wick of either of these support levels. So a pull back is likely, even if this is a recovery trend, but it's also just based on a support level, very likely that we never pull back and, like you're saying, just continue forward here.
Mm-hmm.
So my initial bias is long. If I'm extending a trade right now, it will be in the long direction unless we start breaking under all of this and then I finally you get your big turnaround to the bottom side, right? Maybe I should draw in red there, but you get what I'm saying. By the time we start breaking through those wicks, maybe it changes, but as long as I'm looking left and seeing nothing but just big areas of support, it really tells me it wants to act that way again until we're back under it. And by the time we're back under it, then that's a very, very emotional spot. So if we get under about 38.50 or so, that's where we'd end up under a lot of those wicks. That's a very scary area that the market might just fall out based on a lot of people who are going long, giving up on this recovery move. And the others who are looking at a short, seeing the turnaround happen and confirm that we're headed back down after a big pullback retracement, about 50% of the last move. So,
agreed.
Awesome.
So it could go either way.
Could go either way. My bias is long, but
there's
then
a lot
again,
of
that's
support.
off 3,900, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of support here at 3,900. So we'll see what happens. If it breaks 3,900, my thought is it's going to probably drop, and it's going to probably have a pretty good drop. So we'll see what happens. We can only trade what we see, not what we think. So we have to wait for the price to come to us. Anything else on the daily?
We're above the 10 and 21. Just a thought there. I do need to edit my 21 so it's on the current candle. If any of y'all ever have an EMA and you want it to paint over the current candle really quickly, the way you do that, pull up your settings. I just double click on whatever it is. You can right click, go to settings, and then you want to look at calculate, and you want it to say on each price change. We don't need on each tick. On each tick includes literally every order on the candle, so we just want on price change. A lot less data going through your computer for the same look. So now you'll see the 21 is under that current candle. Anyways, we're above the 21, we're above the 10. Go ahead.
And if we do a new Crudelli ladder here on the daily, like he did yesterday, he had me kind of switch around my stuff. Our top of our Bollinger now, we have a new peak on the way down, and that is 45.16 on the top. And on the bottom would be 33.95. Half of that, well, we're at it, just about. We're not quite to half of it. So according to this, we haven't really started an uptrend. The trend has not changed on the daily, according to this. So we have a new peak on the top and the bottom to measure. So I'm having trouble seeing your ball.
Yeah, same. It's really red right now. Let me change that color. I had them still on there.
Because it should have a standard deviation of 3 and a period of 20.
Yeah, I typed it in. I remember.
Right on. Yep.
Let's try dark green for now. And then
there they are.
There you
So
go.
here would be our peak. Wait, how come yours don't look like mine? Huh? Maybe. Oh, I have a lot more price action. I am going back into February, maybe. No, into February. No, maybe that's why. Okay, there you go. There you go. So there you go. Here's our peak, right there to there. Then we do a Fibonacci from there to there. And we're really right at the price action, the 50% line. 50% line is at 3953.75. So based off of that, we would not be currently in an uptrend yet on a bigger move on the daily. We would still be in the downtrend. Once we cross that 50% line, that's his indication that, okay, now we're on our way back up.
So right now we're hitting resistance on the top at a perfect retracement spot, and then on the bottom we're retesting that support. So you could see that it's consolidation, and it makes it kind of, I agree with Rob, it's like a breakout potential in either direction. The way it chooses could be pretty emotional.
Yep.
Doesn't have to stay in that direction. Just keep your eyes out, watch the price action type situation to me.
Exactly. Exactly. So, all right, let's go to the 4 hour, the 240.
So yeah, above 38, 39.40, thinking maybe long once it breaks through. Once you get under 3900, pay attention. 3900 is a big level right there. So those are the big two to start out looking at.
Agreed.
All right, so 240.
And boy, we're just kind of completing now this a little ellipse here, aren't we? Right here. Oops. We could use the ellipse feature, but we're just kind of completing that right now. And we're about halfway back up to 4150 on this chart. So again, we're 50% right now. That move down. Real key spot again. This chart is telling me again we're in a real key spot from this move down. Yep, there you go.
So there's your 50.
I mean, if that's not key, I don't know what is. In terms of a critical spot for this to, continue on its way up, or say, all right, this is our spot where we start our trend back down again. If you looked at a 5-minute chart, pretend this is a 5-minute chart, which we all have looked at a lot, what would it tell you?
We're in the wing of the W. If it fails, it's going down. If it could continue though, and you got those levels up above you for targets.
Yep.
Yep. Second. Copy. We need a 200 EMA on there. It's not on there. I don't know why. So there it is. And we're still under the 200, but we're above the 89, the 21, and the 10.
Risky spot. Considering how strong we use the 200 moving average so far. Right.
It's either a deep retracement, very good spot to see it push down from, but if we broke above the 200 right there, then we're above every EMA.
Yep.
So
again, again, now our charts are telling us that this is a really key spot here, that if this wants to break down, we could see a nice run down. If this wants to break above it, we could see a nice run up. Or the other thing it could do, honestly, is what?
Range.
We could continue in a chop heading into a 4th of July weekend. Don't you love it when we give you all three options? Could go up, could go down, could chop, folks. But I think that if it does make a move, it's going to be a pretty good move today, to be honest. That's my feeling. I just don't know which way it's going to go. It feels like it's just been gearing up here to do something, to make a big move. So. All right, let's go check out we got 7 minutes left. Let's go check out the hour chart. See how that looks. All these charts are telling me the exact same thing, man. We're just at a critical spot right now. Could see a big move here. You got a level right there that's just perfect. Get above that. There we go. Get below that 3,900. There you go. What if we're in this area? Chopped City. What do you think?
Yes. Same. I mean, we're seeing the same picture, like you said. I like to look at the date. Sometimes gives me a relative zone of how long it's been since it's happened. So to anybody who might be newer to going through your charts, don't just look at the price action. Look at the price action and then match it with the time frame on the bottom. So you start to get an understanding in your head. You start to be able to scale between the charts in your mind, if you will. I don't mean to make it sound like a superpower, but you get to kind of match up all the charts together as one big picture as opposed to seeing them as individual entities. Okay, so 15?
15 minute. Yep.
Now it looks up.
Now it looks up.
Mhm.
Recently, it looks choppy since yesterday.
Right, but
Pretty choppy, but we do have higher highs.
for the week, right?
For the week, yeah. For the week, it looks up for sure. No doubt about it. Until, well, let me see here. Yeah, I really have to go back to June 8th. So, 20 days ago to see this start coming down. So now that I get to my shorter term charts, it's starting to say, hey, look, looks like this price wants to move up. But if I scrunch everything up and, go to June, let's just try to see if you can get June 1st on there. Let's see if you can get the whole month on there on a 15. And you'll see now that, again, we're at 50% of the move down from the first part of June. So recently, yes. Over the last week, yes. Prices want to move up. But now look at it. We're 50% again. So, man, kind of tough today. Kind of tough every day. But you see now how it's like, yes, price wants to go back up, but we're at a critical level to where, we get above that green line ears there. Again, we're at the same exact look as the other charts. Above there, we're going long. Below 3,900, we're going short, right? And if we just sit in this area, it's just going to have to be positional trading or get chopped up. So, it's critical today, very critical today in terms of either chopping or getting out of this range and continuing to move up or drop back down to these levels in here. I don't know, man. We're on all the EMAs right now, but we are above the 200. So on the 15.
So to the 5.
Yep.
See this 3,900 levels, the same one we talked about before everything. To the green level up top. So there's our chop zone. 3,900 to about 3,940 something, if you will, 43. Might even call it 3,950. We poked above that a minute ago, so you might want us to get above 3,950.
Yeah.
Tough to say what the trend is because by the time you're in a downtrend, you're smashing against the support level there. So really scary area for it to keep going down. If I got to choose, I would rather the price start making higher highs and then retracing back and using these as support again, but it's not my job, so we'll see.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say this is one of the tougher days that we've had in a little while, honestly. Today is really a day that we have to let the price tell us what it wants to do. I mean,
common look once we're out of this, if I trusted the channel, see it push back up, retest it, maybe between 25 and 30 somewhere, and then push down. Very likely based on a triple tap up there as well. So,
or if it gets up inside it and start using it as support again too. So
that's
if it gets up, yeah. So it's either going to do one of two things, folks. It's either going to come up here, maybe, and then that, or it's going to break through and now start using it as support and start moving up. Again, we're not here to predict what the market's going to do because honestly, we don't know. But if we can have some sort of plan, have some targets on the top side and the downside. Right now, I would say our target's now below 3,900. Then we start looking at lows on the top side once we get above, 39, this green line that he has, somewhere in there up to 3,950. Now we'll start looking at targets on the top side. So, but for now, we gotta wait. We got to let opening bell and emotion kind of subside and see if we can get into a trend. Because even looking at this right here, you know, between here, this box right here, how strong is that trend? Looks to me like the price is just going back and forth through the EMAs.
Yeah.
You know, started to gain some support here, but for the most part, I don't see a very strong trend. You know, since yesterday, really, I just see a lot of chop, which can be tough. Lower lows, higher highs. So I don't know, man. All right, 30-second chart. We're gonna have to get our OB range here in a minute. We're getting pretty close. In fact, we're getting very close. So this is our FNL OB 30 trade, where we take a trade out of opening range, our 30-second opening range. And it's been going pretty well for us. So hopefully it continues and we don't get too chopped up. But we'll do a 4 contract trade. 4, 4, 8, 12. And we are in the 30-second candle right now, I believe. We are. Yes, we are. And it is set at 39.24 on the top, 39.19.5 on the bottom, and we're in out the top. Now let's see if we can keep from getting chopped up here. And I am going to try and do 2. And we just filled for 4 on 2 contracts. That's funny. You and I just did the exact same thing. Put a 2 contract limit order at the top of the opening range, just above it. So if it does come down and retest again, we'll have another spot to add in. So right now we did not get chopped coming out. So right now we're.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
It may come back to get us though. You never know.
You never know. But we did get our first target. So I'm out of 2 of my contracts at +4. So I'm +8 right now. And we're headed to our +8. And we tapped. We just hit our +8. So we're +16. Now we got our runner in and we got to get this out of the way. And we do move our stop up now. And as you can see, Travis is moving his way out of the way. Or are you moving it way out of the way?
Yeah, that's what I did. I went to the daily. So I went to the daily, I grabbed the green line and just pulled it all the way up. So up at a big key level way up top, but
yeah,
miles away, if you will.
Yeah. So wow, dude. Another really wonderful day so far with the OB30 FNL OB30 trade. Got 1 chop yesterday, but ended up with a +26 total. And right now we're sitting on +16 plus whatever we're in right now. So pretty nice. So again, I'll put this in chat. Put the opening range in chat for folks. I know Valerie's doing this. Randy's doing this.
Yeah, this was a fun one. There was 1 spot on the 30 that I could have stacked in, and I didn't. But, it went right through yesterday's opening.
Yeah, it blew right through yesterday's opening range. And that's where actually I'm going to put my trail right now. It's at the top of yesterday's opening range. So if we get knocked out of this trade, will be 6 points on it. And as we move up, I'll start trailing it up. But let me get this in chat. Tuesday, 6.28.22 opening range. So we have 39.24. Is that right? 39.24.25 on the top.
I just have 24.
No. Yeah, yep. I had it. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my my re-entry. So 39.24 on the top to 39.19.5 on the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Cool. So this has been a very nice trade, you guys, over the last few weeks. We've gotten chopped up a few times, but again, you know, learning how to stack in here, I think, is going to be the key. So once we get some really strong levels on the top side, and we're working on these fib levels that could give us some really nice levels on the top side, I think how we're going to really move this trade along is to start stacking in and adding contracts as we move up. So instead of having a one contract runner for 50 points or 40 points or 30, we stack in and we start taking money off as well as we move up. So it's kind of a scale in, scale out as we move up. I think that was probably the next step in what we need to learn and do. Again, this is a new trade for us, and we are doing our best to hone it in. We've got multiple people working on it, collaborating on it. So that's what we do here at FNL. We share and collaborate, and try to improve our trading.
You know, the only chart we've seen red on is the 30-second chart so far. So that's high momentum.
Yep. So does anybody have questions? Anybody out in there in session have questions about what we're doing in this opening range? Kind of surprised that the more people aren't asking questions about this. They've seen us every day do it. Are you guys doing it on your own? Are you trying something to gather momentum out of opening range, or are you just waiting for your standard trade, which is fine too? I'd love to get feedback from some people. Guess not.
Well, I would give you feedback, but you've heard my feedback.
You give me feedback every day, dude. I love it.
I know, this is just,
you
just
do it every day.
Times a day is, you know, if I'm going to trade 2 times a day, it's going to be at the open and at the close.
Yeah. So now we are seeing our pullback. So if somebody wanted to take a look at a standard trade, you know, be looking for a 30 to 70% pullback on a and then some sort of turnaround. I'm still on my 30-second chart, so I have to move over to my 5, get my opening range put in, all that good stuff. So let me do that. It's pretty simple, honestly. Bernie, go to your 30-second chart, and when your 30-second chart hits, have your risk management strategies already set up. Put a limit order in at the top, going long, put a limit order in at the bottom, going short. When you get knocked out, you do it again. And then you have to figure out what risk management strategy you want to have, or how much risk tolerance you have. So how many times you want to do it before you say, you know, it's not easy today. And that's something every trader has to figure out on their own. So far for me, it's 2 times out of each side with a full trade, and then half a trade or another 2 times. So when it's easy like this, nothing else you have to do. And that's really what we want. We want this trade to be easy. When it gets hard and you get chopped up, that's when you want to say, okay, no more.
And we're seeing the resistance right at the level you would expect it. Friday's opening range. So that's a key level. We get through that, then we got lots more upside.
So one of the reasons why we came up with this trade, or Randy really ran across it, and then he and I started really delving into it deeper, and was we were trying to find, how do we get into these trades out of opening bell? I was doing well doing my opening bell trade, but I was only getting 6 points every time. Then it would go for another 40, and I could not seem to find a spot to get in.
Yeah, well, shameless plug for yesterday's guest. Anthony Crudelli is the one that had me look at it by his interview with
Pax.
Pax.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly it. So I hope people enjoyed that. I got a text from him yesterday that he really enjoyed being in session with everybody and enjoys our traders. So that was really neat. So I want to thank folks that came out and participated. And even if you didn't participate, you just came out and hung out. I don't, it is summertime. So a lot of times we do see attendance drop during the summers, which I get. So what do you think, Travis? Any comments?
Waiting on a pullback for a trade. The OB30 trade can just go for as long as it wants to, though.
So maybe talk about the trade you'd be looking for if you're not in an OB30 trade.
Sure, I like the idea of a pullback and a turnaround, confirmation of a turnaround with the trend. I like to see a retracement somewhere down this move, so I might start at the very bottom or this last little area at the 89. Either one could be relevant, so I'd probably look at both to figure out where 50% and 618 are. You go from the very bottom to the top of the move, 50% backs right around the channel. So if I could choose where to have it turn around, it'd be around 39.30. See a turnaround in that area where the old tops are, near the bottom of the channel, near the 10 and 21 by the time it comes back to there, and also 50% of the bigger move.
And yesterday's top of yesterday's opening range.
Where was that? I don't know why mine is not on my charts. I had a lot of stuff go missing overnight. I think yesterday's charts didn't save. I had to put my 200 back on and stuff.
I think it's 39.30 as the top. 39.31. I don't know is that yesterday's opening range, Randy?
It's 30. Yeah, 31 is the top.
39.31 is the top.
Okay.
And then the bottom is 39.26 or 39.25.75.
20. Yeah.
Okay. 39.25.75 would be the bottom.
Thank you.
With 31 on the top, 25.75 on the bottom.
So this is 627. Fee range. Extended a week. Go.
So that would be a likely spot maybe for this to come back and retest that. One of the fun things too is to start looking at a little shorter term charts.
Seeing it trapped between these ranges.
Yeah. You can see a little bit more when you look at a 3-minute chart or a 30-second chart. You can start seeing a few more pullbacks. If you just look at this 5-minute chart, it just looks like one huge green candle up, which it is. It's one green candle up. But getting a little perspective by looking at some other charts sometimes can help too. So it's almost like I don't want to post this again on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, right? It's like, yeah, right. You guys are making this many points every morning at opening bell. It almost seems like,
We are until we aren't. We'll have some choppy days.
Oh yeah.
There's when you get this many in a row, it's just gonna come.
Yep. Got to take advantage of it.
Stop it. You want me to put you outside?
I don't want to go outside, Valerie.
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm in
You
a
guys
trade.
hear my cat fight, huh?
I did.
Yeah, maybe I need to
Oh,
put her
no.
outside.
There you go. Time to go
Oh.
outside. No, right on. So Travis's screen is up. I'm gonna write on his screen a little bit here. Unless you want to, Travis. What I'd love for you to do is just put in FNL OB30 trade. So when people are watching it on YouTube, they can know kind of what's happened, because it looks like you only have one contract left, but you've actually scaled out. So maybe put FNL OB30 trade. Yep. And then +4, +4, +8, or whatever your is, and then runner on something like that. That way people can kind of see that you actually scaled out and not in it for one contract at, 18 points where you're at now. Mm-hmm. There you go. I like it.
Why do you want a different color? I don't care.
Doesn't matter. White's fine. Yeah, you can see it real well. I like it. Looks good. Looks good.
Might take it before it goes away. I'm just It's coming back, and if it does pull back, that's awesome. So we might get a trade.
Yep. Hey, Titus, do we have a fib level at 39.50? I forgot to put in my fib levels between 39.25 and 39.87. Guess I could put them in right now.
There is a fib exactly at 39.50.25. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no, it's at 39.50 exactly. Yeah.
Yep. I figured. I don't have my fibs between, those two levels. I forgot to put them in last night. So my next fib level would be up at 39.87 or 39.88. Yeah, 39.80, 87.75.
Did you see how it left it this morning?
Mm-hmm.
The double bar down at 39.10 off of it. And then it went up to the 39.20 fib, and then it left. That's that same exact clean look out of the opening range. Screenshotting them every day, putting notes on it, and seeing the difference.
Excellent.
I got in it today. I think I pulled 24 points out of it with 2 contracts.
Excellent.
That was a clean one today.
Oh, super clean. Super clean today. Love it. You know, like Pax likes to say, get it, you make it easy, man. We don't like it when it's hard. And don't get me wrong, it gets hard sometimes when it's chopping and you're just like, ugh. But when it takes off like this, these are the ones that you want to be in.
And it's kind of funny that 39.45, I think, was his upside target he was looking for yesterday.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where we're sitting and turning.
Yeah. And we did get there yesterday too.
Yeah.
We got to 39.48 yesterday. So. All right, any questions? Got about 5-10 more minutes left here on the YouTube live stream. So how is that, Bernie? How do you like using TradingView combined with, was it Thinkorswim or no? It was Bernie's on another platform. But as we know, it doesn't really matter the platform you're on. We like Ninja, but you know, trading's about making good decisions, not what platform you're on. So he uses TradingView charts combined with, I want to say it's Thinkorswim. Right on, Bernie.
Yeah, you can use any feed they support, which is actually the feeds that we use support trading.
Yeah, CQG. CQG is the #1 feed out there. They're the ones who actually started it all.
You're supposed to be able to connect it. I tried doing that, you know, when I was traveling a lot, and it just wouldn't, you know, I followed their instructions and it just wouldn't recognize it for some reason. So maybe they fixed that since then. I haven't tried again.
Yeah. CQG is the one that started it all, really, with the data feed from the CME for electronic trading. So they've been around forever. They're considered the big boys. So here we are stacking in right here. Having a little trouble getting above this area. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, may take a while. We definitely lost the momentum that we had coming out of the opening range.
Yep. Which is not surprising, and that's all right.
No, it's nice when it just goes on all day, like Friday, but it's not common.
No, that's kind of a once a month type of deal. You know, I think our typical FNL OB30 trade when it doesn't chop is something along these lines. And maybe we take 10 or 15 on our final contract, you know. So for me, it'd be a +4, +4, +8, +10. That would be a pretty standard when it doesn't chop too bad and it hits levels and then stalls out and has a big pullback. So, I mean, but hey, look, you know, that's a +26 trade at one contract. Gotta be happy with that.
Yeah, I had my target set right at the bottom of that opening range at first, and I thought, well, let's extend it a little bit. You never know if it's going to go further, but I don't really, you know, I'm not banking on it. But and if it comes back, you know, I've moved my stop up enough to capture at least half of that move, so I'm good either way.
Yep.
It's always nice when it continues.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Consumer confidence report at 10 coming up in about 2 minutes. Thanks, Jim. Do we want to start squeezing this trade then?
That could explain a lot, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if the report's really bad, it's probably going to go to the moon. That's what we've been seeing lately.
Right. Opposite of what the
I'm not predicting that to anybody. Don't trade off of that.
Yeah.
Seems kind of funny that we get bad news and it goes flying up.
Yeah. Yeah, these reports sometimes just are backwards. So, but that makes a lot of sense why we're consolidating right now.
Like the algos wanted their money before that report, huh?
Yeah, that's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Got to their target and that was kind of it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm tempted to like squeeze this pretty good now and just say, all right, wait for the next thing to happen. But either way, I can be happy if I get out of this with 10 points on this contract. I'll be happy. Kind of where we're sitting right now. 10 point trade, 10 point final contract. Considering it's a 2-point stop, not too shabby, huh? All this was done with a 2-point stop.
So what's your risk reward ratio on that, Rob? How many times do you have to get it to be profitable?
No, like 20%, I think, is what the break even is on it. Somewhere right around there. 21%.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's changed a little bit though, because now actually it's gotten a little better, because now I used to get out at 4, 8, 12, and 16. Now I get out of 2 of my contracts at 4 points. So I'm taking 8 points off the table right away.
Yeah,
So,
I do the same. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the worst I can do then, if I make those 2 contracts and I fill on the first 2 at 4 points, that's +8. Then let's say it drops like a rock, get knocked out on my final contracts at -2. That would be -4, 2 contracts times -2 points. So in that trade, I would still be up 4 points. Previously, I would have been down 2 points. So if it only went 4 points, if it only moved 4 points, I would have been down 2 if it dropped like a rock in the old strategy I was using. So I am kind of liking this.
The ATR is surprisingly seems kind of low for this morning.
Yeah.
Not very volatile candles, just that one big one.
Just one big green one. Yeah. Mhm.
Yep. Yeah. Prior to opening bell, it was pretty tame. Pretty tame. So following May's 106.4, the consumer confidence index for June is expected to ratchet lower to 101.0. The headline consumer confidence index is based on consumers' perceptions of current business and employment conditions, as well as their expectations for 6 months hence regarding business conditions, employment, and income. Any comments, Travis? None? Just waiting for it to do something.
Yeah, just waiting on a pullback.
Yeah.
But it did make a higher high, so I do like the idea of carrying on an uptrend.
Mm-hmm. And we got a minute left in the 60-minute candle. So we'll have a new 60-minute candle here in a second, which could be telling. And it looks like we just got filled on our final contract. So we made 10 on that one. So we ended up going +4, +4, +8, +10. So +26 today. Hey, isn't that what we did yesterday? I think so.
I think that's what you did, yeah.
Yeah, you did 28, I think.
I know I have one more on the 9, but I got the same. I got 10 on the runner,
Yep.
so.
Yep.
27 today.
Yep. So still, what a great way to start the morning, folks. What a great way to start the morning. Now we see us coming down here to the 10 period moving average. We've got the 21 right below us. So now we might look for a turnaround. As we build this wick, it's going to make it a little tougher though for our stop. So, all right, folks, we're going to end the YouTube stream. So thanks everybody on YouTube for coming out. And if you're watching this as a recording, well, continue to tune in to our recordings. Typically, we'll have 2 a week. If you're interested in FNL, just send an email to info@futuresnetworks.com. You want to write that on your screen, Travis, real quick? Actually, I can do it. I can probably do it a little quicker. You don't have to. Yeah, just write info@futuresnetworks.com. Request a guest pass. We'll have somebody reach out, say hi, and kind of give you the rundown. And you can come on in for a week and have some fun with us. All right, we'll continue to trade, but for YouTube, we're going to sign off. Thanks, Travis. Great job. MTFA.
Thank you, Rob. Always a pleasure.